So, Charlie, Tom and Enzo, how long do you think that lasted? The 2 times round, how long do you think it lasted, Charlie?
About 50 seconds.
50 seconds. How long do you think it lasted, Tom?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. How long do you think, Enzo?
A minute.
A minute. It was actually 3 minutes 10. So time does fly when you're having fun. Ah. Thank you very much indeed, Charlie, Tom and Enzo. That was very good. We have proved that time flies when you're having fun. Hurrah. Like you mean it, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. Ow! How much longer is this going to go on? Ouch!
One thing we found out by that is that leeches don't like chocolate.
Stop the clock! Oh, thank goodness for that. So how long do you think that lasted?
Well, again, I'd say about at least 4 hours, but try a proper guess, I'd say 2.5 hours at least.
No, the actual time that you were in the custard for the duration of the whole experiment was, in fact, 1 hour, 33 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow. Oh, that would be interesting if it wasn't so boring. Get me out of here!
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? We should really do it 3 times to make sure the results are sound.
Well, we should do it the other way around. You should sit in a bath full of custard.
I don't think that would prove anything.
You're just chicken, aren't you? You don't want to sit in a bath full of custard.
Big Howard, I'm a 6-year-old boy. I'd love to sit in a bath full of custard. But you would not like to go to Super Mega Fun World Fun Park. After about half an hour on the Big Dipper, you'd be sick on someone's head. Like you were the last time.
Yeah, I don't know why the mayor was standing there.
So, I think we've proved that time does fly when you're having fun, and that it does go slower when you're not having fun.
Pardon me, boys.
Oh, Doris, you're still here.
Well, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Little dull, though, I must admit. Now, little Howard, you are right. Time is a funny old thing. And you should know better now that you're grown up.
Grown up?
Well, not exactly grown up, no, but older. Time goes quicker than it did when you were a child.
What? Time does seem to go quicker now I'm older, but surely that's not because I'm having more fun than when I was a kid.
I've worked out a way to make my time go slower.
By being really, really boring?
Don't say that, little Howard. That's really, really true. Rude, rude.
No, I just pretend to be boring for a laugh. Yeah, you young people, you always fall for it every time.
Well, it's very convincing.
But time went slower today for Big Howard because he was really bored.
What I do is, you see, I try and do something new and different every day. Yesterday I went to a Bon Jovi concert, and today I did this silly experiment, and at the weekend I might learn to play darts.
Look, Big Howard, Doris is interesting.
Yeah, who'd have thought it, eh?
Look, lads, I must be off because I've got my first trombone lesson this afternoon.
Oh, that's lovely. Good for you, Doris.
And then I'm going bungee jumping tomorrow. Bye.
Well, let's get a crack on. Let's do something we've never done before. We could hoover the living room.
I'm not sure about that.
We could go bungee jumping.
Will Big and Little Howard go bungee jumping? Does time pass slower when you're stuck in a freeze frame going into an ad break? Is this voiceover going to take much longer? Or less and less still to come? And this week, we want you to guess how long the second half lasts without looking at any watches or clocks. And at the end of the show, we'll find out if you're right. So it's really very important that you stay tuned.
I am ex-film actress Andy McDowell. I am not Brian May. You may remember me from these adverts and from such films as 4 Weddings and a Funeral and, I am worried about worry lines, which only makes them worse. Luckily, I have discovered a product which makes my skin firm and smooth in any shape I want it to be. It's called Face-to-Scene from Red L'Oreal, Yellow L'Oreal. The unique formula contains Miracle Formula Sloblock B, which is formulated into a formula. Here comes the science bit. You concentrate now. And remember, if you want to reverse the ravages of that cruel Duchess Father Time, use Face-to-Scene, because it's all you're worth.
No, I don't really fancy bungee jumping. It's so Blue Peter. Hey, you want to know about time, don't you?
Yeah?
Well, I've always wanted to go up Big Ben.
Wouldn't he mind?
No, Big Ben, it's in the clock tower of the Houses of Parliament. It sets the time for all of Britain.
Can everyone in Britain see it?
No, it's big, but it's not that big. But it is the most important clock in the country.
Brilliant!
This is Big Ben. Well, it's not actually Big Ben. The bell's called Big Ben, but apparently the clock's called the Great Clock Tower. Why is it called that? Why is it called Big Ben? Why not Massive Nigel? Or Enormous Kenny? Or Huge Duncan? Shush now, stop it. Enormous Digbert? Stop it, you're just being stupid now. Vast Clive. It's called Big Ben, OK? Just get used to that idea.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
79,
80, 221, 222, 223. Oh, dear me. Oh, we're nearly there yet.
You're now standing inside the south clock face.
What did people use before they had clocks?
Originally, people would have followed the sun. The sun will be in different places in the sky.
Hiya, I'm Little Ben.
Always good to meet a little version of a bigger thing.
Ding dong. The first way people measured the time was by using the sun. At first, people just looked up to tell what time of day it was, and then they invented sundials. Days were divided up into 24 hours and hours into 60 minutes by the Babylonians 5,000 years ago.
Oh, are those the monkeys with the blue bottoms?
No, those were baboons.
Oh, what colour bottoms did the Babylonians have?
That is a mystery lost in the midst of time. And their pants.
But why do we need time?
Well, we didn't until civilization became more organised. Until 1855, the time was slightly different in every town all over the country. But when the railways arrived, we had to have a national standard time.
Otherwise, no one would know how late the trains were.
Hold it, moustache.
Why?
Your dream sequence is only 72 seconds long this week.
Oh.
Any chance of a spin-off series?
Does time fly when you're having fun? And so does Big Ben get faster?
No, time does fly, or it appears to fly when you're having fun, but Big Ben still keeps its time within a second of time.
Can we see the clock, please?
Yes, certainly. We can go right now.
Where is it?
It's up on the next floor up.
Brilliant. More stairs.
We're now inside the clock room, inside the square of the dials. But I think I'll hand you over to Ian to explain the mechanics behind the clock.
It's enormous. It's 15.5 feet long, 4.5 feet wide, 18 inches high, and weighs about 4.5 tons.
Wow, that's even taller than me, and nearly as heavy as Big Howard.
Probably just a little bit heavier. It's split into 3 distinct sections. You've got the strike train, that's the bit that rings Big Ben. The bit next to me is the going train. That's the bit that tells the time. And behind me, you've got the quarter train. That plays the quarter past, half past, quarter to, and the notes just before the hour.
Brilliant.
To keep this clock accurate, there's a pendulum all the way from the bracket at the back through the floor. It's 15 feet long, and it ticks every 2 seconds. And to keep it within that 2 seconds a day, we add and take off old pennies, pre-1971 pennies. We put on 1 penny, and it speeds the clock up by 2/5 of a second over 24 hours. We take one off, it slows the clock down by 2/5 of a second over 24 hours.
Wow, I thought that was your pocket money.
That's about what we get paid, about a penny a week. In a minute, what you're going to hear is the clock striking one of the quarters, the half past the hour. What you'll see is the big fly fan at the top spinning around, and the wheels behind me going round, and you'll hear the sound of the bells playing. What they'll do is they'll play the tune, which lets everybody know that that's the half past the hour.
So where's Big Ben, the bell?
Well, we'll find Big Ben upstairs. Do you want to come up with me?
Yeah! Hooray! Big
Another
Ben!
flight of stairs. Great.
Oh, there we go. So,